Danny Harris, CEO, founder of Game Day. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Getting ready to kick off the new year.
So last time we talked, you went through your whole program, your whole startup, and I don't mean to call your program, your business. And why don't you go through it again for me, just to start, because I know some things have probably changed. Number one, you're coming down to our demo day in Orlando. But tell us what has. First of all, explain why you started it and what's going on now.
Yeah, so I would say at this stage, as the vision has grown, as it's evolved, I say that Game Day right now is the consumer engine for sports. And what that manifests itself, it manifests itself today in two forms. We have a mobile app and we have a website, and we really our goal is to provide an opportunity for athletes to use their social capital for three things. One, we want to help them monetize their social capital. Two, we want them to have and create closer connections with their fans and followers. And three, which I think is the most important one, and it's actually created the most interest and piqued the interest from athletes and the athlete support system, is we ultimately want to help measure the athlete's brand influence through the Game Day platform. On the flip side, for fans, sports followers, we ultimately want to give them the I see it and I want it opportunity. You see your favorite athlete playing a game, you want to buy the shoes that they're wearing. We want to provide that immediate opportunity to create that consumer experience. And through this mobile app, through the website, as a second screen, or you might be at your computer the next day after you were at the game, or you might be going to a game. We want to give you that opportunity to shop the game, shop your favorite athlete, and really create those closer connections between the two entities.
So talk a little bit about the evolution of the business and how it started, and what happens from the capabilities on the website to the app. Why did you guys develop the app, and how's it going from that standpoint?
So I found myself live in the Bay Area, Warriors fan, a couple years ago, watching a Warriors game, and was really drawn to one of the warm-ups that the Warriors were wearing on the bench, sitting on my couch. And I actually didn't do anything at the time. A couple days later, I happened to be sitting back at my computer, and something piqued my interest. And so I started looking on around the web to see if I could find out what that warm-up was. Spoiler alert, I still don't own that warm-up. And what I came to realize is that from a sports fan's perspective, there isn't that shopping experience that changes the way, from a sports fan perspective, what I, as a sports fan, I think of it as an experience-based opportunity. And for me, the experience was watching the game, sitting at a friend's house watching the game, being at the arena, or maybe even planning to go to a game. Those are all experiences that we as fans have. And shopping shouldn't be any different. And it's just another way that fans can become consumers through those experiences. And so as I realize, and as I continue to look throughout the consumer experiences and websites that where e-commerce exists, nothing really has changed from that sports fan's mentality. There's a left-hand navigation, there's a top-hand navigation, and there's filtering and sorting. And so I really wanted to create that fan shopping experience. What were you watching? When is that game? Who were the athletes? And really creating that shopping experience around those entities, the athletes, the teams, the events that those games were actually, and those teams were participating in. So that's where it ultimately started. And we rolled out the first app iteration about a year and a half ago with just that, where We were focused more on the NBA, and we were doing all of that product curation where we were focused on the games themselves and bringing together that game day gear that was being showcased on the court, whether the shoes for a specific athlete, the warm-ups, the jerseys, maybe even the mouth guards for athlete-specific products, and really being able to curate and create that view from an athlete's perspective.
So talk about, I mean, if you're going to look at athletes, let's talk about college athletes with, what's happening now with name, image, and likeness. And how does that convert over to your business? Is it scalable? Is there an opportunity there once the NCAA decides on how they're going to allow student athletes to monetize, their name, image, and likeness?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it expands drastically our opportunity from a from an athlete connections perspective. Every athlete, especially at the collegiate level, where I believe in that there are those closer connections that fans have, that alumni have with every athlete that's on the court, on the field, you name it. So it actually creates more opportunities for all of the athletes on those rosters, who for those fans who are looking to support them. So it's the app, the platform itself scales. It allows for any athlete to be onboarded, any team to be brought into the platform, the schedules. So as fans are engaging with those teams and athletes, we can quickly bring athletes on board and teams on board and really give those fans an opportunity to become consumers as a result of the influence of those entities. So I'm actually super excited to see as those decisions come down, how we can really start to help those athletes capitalize on their brands and really help them maximize their value while they can. And I think that's the big thing from an athlete's perspective. Careers are so finite. And our ultimate goal is really to help every athlete maximize their value while they still can.
I mean, you look at golfers, you look at professional tennis players, you look at Olympic sport athletes, anything to monetize and to kind of bring that consumer back into their fold a little bit more and keep them engaged, like you said, and sell them stuff.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I would assume that's part of your strategy as well.
Yeah. So it's, we're really targeting all athletes and all sports. I think there's a huge opportunity for the underserved sports at this stage, certainly in our growth or in our stage of the platform as well, and really having many of those athletes and participants help guide us on really what's important. I'll also say that where it gets interesting, and as we've talked to more and more athletes, it's not just their game day gear, but it's their lifestyle brands that they have connections with. And that's an opportunity that we're really excited about. And we have some things that we're going to be excited to announce, hopefully in Orlando, about that opportunity from our platform perspective, and really creating more lifestyle consumer opportunities around their social capital.
So let's talk about challenges, as a startup founder, and things come your way. Sometimes you're one email away from winning and losing that day, that week, that month, or that quarter. What are some of the challenges you faced and how did you overcome them?
Well, I would also say you're one email away from feeling completely rejected, and you're another email away or a conversation away from feeling, like you can't do anything wrong. Regardless of whether anything converts or anything, it's just the emotional roller coaster ride that exists in the startup world, but certainly one that you are trying to get off the ground and make something of it. I would say, the challenges. I think of a couple challenges. One is getting the support of your really my friends, my family, my support network, and really help grow and give me that foundation that's important. Because without the support network, what are you doing it for? Certainly your family and your family is number one, but it's really those friends that have really shown the support and the excitement about what game day is trying to become. Was super important from, and it continues to be important from your, just psychologically, what keeps you going, and motivated. But I would also say too is the one challenge that I've overcome that I'm excited about having overcome it, and I still struggle with it, is putting myself out there and putting yourself out there and being okay with rejection, being okay with getting no response, getting ghosted, getting big league, if you will, and knowing that those are going to continue to happen, but forcing yourself to continue to put yourself out there, to continue to reach out to individuals, aim high for who you want to talk to. And I've had a number of responses. I've had a number of exciting conversations as a result of that. And I can't say that I would have done that had I not forced myself into these situations and forced myself to even be in this environment of founding a company.
So what'd you learn about yourself, Danny? I mean, going through this process and things that, being a first, and as an entrepreneur and a founder, and it's on you, what do you come away with as you sit here today, knowing about yourself now? What is it that you learned going through this process?
Let's see.
I stumped you, didn't I? Did I stump you on that one?
Well, there's a number of ways to go about this, but I want to make sure that I distill it down properly. The one thing that I would say that I've learned, the most important thing that I've learned, is to be okay with rejection. Because I can't say that I was that it was a comfortable thing, that I would even put myself, I would reach out, I would ask, I would request in the past. And somebody, a good mentor of mine actually said, once you've realized the things that you don't do well, that's going to be one of the biggest hurdles that you will overcome, instead of me thinking I'm going to be able to do all of the things. It was being okay with, really being okay with rejection, and being okay with not getting what I'm expecting back, after putting myself out there.
It's hard. I mean, you have to become so uncomfortable because you're getting judged, right? And you're chasing this dream, and you got family and friends that are either financially invested in it, but they're definitely emotionally invested in it because they want the best for you.
Yeah.
And they're not in your shoes. They don't have to get up every day and think about that job and deal with what you're dealing with. So it's a hard thing to do. There's no doubt about it. So what
and
has
you're also constantly in sell mode.
Yeah.
Whether you are going out to dinner with friends, or talking to your in-laws on the phone, it's constantly what is going on with it, and getting a break is few and far between.
Oh, well, when they do come, they come.
That's right.
Right?
But what it does is it shows that people are genuinely interested.
Yeah.
And that's how that's what continues to motivate me.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. So, all right, so final question, and this is the big one. I think I asked you this the first time, but so if you were to win the lottery, if you were to find a bag of cash, if you inherited it, someone of your buddies said, "Here's $1,000,000, right? Use it for your business, no strings attached." What do you do with it?
Targeted towards the business?
Anything? Yes, targeted. If you're going to put the money in your business, what do you do? I'll sing for you.
I bring on the best business development person. I bring on the best business development person um, in the business, and
Great answer.
I partner with them on going out and really driving the awareness and the opportunities from an athlete's perspective.
Love it. Love it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Good answer. That's a great answer. I
Yep.
love it. Focus in on that revenue.
Yep.
So, how do people get a hold of you? I'll type it in, but just won't you say it?
Yeah. So our website is gmdy.co. So feel free to go check out the website, although things will be changing over the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited about that. But also feel free to email me at dharris, HARRIS, at gmdy.co.
Danny, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, buddy, and see you. And we'll connect in a couple weeks down in sunny Orlando. So,
Yes.
folks, go check it out. Go check out the website. It's obviously listed. You see it right there. I will edit it right in there for you. The magic of digital and editing. And we'll see you down in Orlando. Safe travels. Happy New Year. And we look forward to next steps, Danny.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity. Take care.
Always a pleasure.